Okay, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Stella Young, and I live in the little town of Washington, California.
And how long have you lived in Washington, California?
3 years.
And as a child, what was your ambition to be? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a veterinarian, although my aptitude test said I should be a secretary that lives out on a ranch.
And what happened?
I got married when I was 19.
So you got married when you were 19.
Yeah.
That was about 1962.
Yes.
And so you got married, and you decided not to. Were you in college at the time?
No, I was working. I'd already went a year and a half of community college, and then I went to work in San Francisco at the insurance companies.
So you went to insurance company. So when you got married, you were still working?
Yes.
Or you were working?
Yes.
So, so over the years, why haven't you gone back and decided to go back to college?
Because I was a single parent and I had to work to make a living, and I always was able to get good jobs. I worked at Blue Cross, I worked at the telephone company, and when I went to work at the oil company, I was making better money than I would have if I'd went to college.
So how do you feel about not being able to fulfill your original goal of being a veterinarian?
I think about it sometimes, but at my age now, it wouldn't pay me to go back to school to become a veterinarian. But yeah, I think about it, sure.
So that was so it's still a thought that crossed your mind that you still would, being a veterinarian would be something that you would like to do.
Definitely.
So even though that you did decide to take a different course of action, how do you feel about the course that your wife has taken?
I always wanted children, so I had my 2 boys, and I've never regretted that. And I've had basically a decent life, so I have no complaints.
Okay. Well, let's try another approach at this. Can you describe a memorable Valentine's Day?
Oh my. A Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day's never been all that important to me. My late husband would get me candy or flowers occasionally. He very rarely got flowers, but he'd buy me candy once in a while. And I was always dieting, so I didn't need the candy. My son, Shelby, gets me the cutest cards, so I always appreciate getting cards from him no matter what holiday it is, because he picks out usually humorous, and even when he writes letters, his letters are very humorous. I have always enjoyed getting letters from him.
But can you pinpoint an exact time, an exact date that is most memorable?
Yeah, August 12th, 1963, and March 2nd, 1965.
No, I'm talking about Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Can you pinpoint a particular date?
No.
You can't.
No.
Okay.
The most exciting event in my life is when I took a cruise to Alaska. I've also taken a cruise to Mexico and went to Catalina Island, and I fell in love with Catalina Island. But those are memorable.
What was that during Valentine's Day?
No.
Okay. Then
That wasn't part of the question.
That wasn't part of the question. Okay, let's go back to your job. So you weren't able to. You got married. You didn't fulfill your ambition to be a veterinarian. So you decided to. You went to work. So what kind of jobs have you had since then?
Well, I went to work at Hartford Insurance right after my youngest son was born, and worked as in the assigned risk department, which was kind of fun. And I worked at Brockway Glass Company. I worked at the Pacific Telephone. which I enjoyed as an O operator, but when I transferred, moved to Sacramento and became a 411 operator, I didn't enjoy it. Nobody likes directory assistants. But I enjoyed my job at the refinery. I drove forklift and worked in the warehouse. When I was hired, I was a warehouseman. When I left, I was a material handler because a warehouseman is sexist. So they changed my title, but not my job.
So you changed your jobs in 1962, right? Is that when you quit college? Finished college?
No, I quit college in 1961.
1961. What college were you going to?
Contra Costa.
And how many years did you finish at Contra Costa?
I finished 1 year. And then I went another semester.
So a year and a partial?
Yeah.
And then did you get married right after that, or?
No, I went to work. I didn't get married till 62.
So what made you change your mind prior? Not finishing up college?
They didn't like women vets, and I had to go to work to make money because my mother didn't have any money, and to support myself, I had to go to work.
So you were you with your first husband then? Or?
No.
So it really wasn't that you had to, or you had to because of the money.
Financial reasons, yes.
And then you never decided to go back because you ended up getting married.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I guess that's about it. I think let's